Alrighty, folks, you know I got to give a big shout out to all of my Gold Club members out there from my premium site because you guys cashed in on 5 more premium selections yesterday on Sunday. We had the Saints, Chargers, Buccaneers, Phoenix Mercury in the WNBA. We also had the Padres in Major League Baseball. And the only way you could have accessed all those winners is to join my full access, all-inclusive Gold Club package. Now, Gold Club members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my exclusive Gold Club video each and every day during that time frame. Absolutely free. It's included with your membership. And of course, if there's a couple of plays here on this video here today that are missing, you can also access my written quick pick recap on my premium site. That's available to Gold Club members, gives you a play on the side and the total for every single game on the slate here today. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to my Major League Baseball free pick video here today. For Monday, September 16th, 2024. Happy Monday to you. Hopefully you had a great weekend, and I'm looking forward to getting a brand new week started off good here today. Now, if you're joining me for the first time here today, I'm happy to have you here. My name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to start off with the Twins at the Guardians, 6:40 p.m. East. Minnesota's minus $1.15, totals 8 runs. Pablo Lopez for the Twins, Matthew Boyd for the Guardians. And Boyd's looked, pretty good in a handful of appearances here this year. He's got a .91 whip along with an ERA of 2.18. Of course, as a team, the Guardians did get the W in 4 out of their last 6. And they definitely played their best baseball at Progressive Field. Cleveland currently has a .619 win percentage in their own stadium. And no real surprise here, folks. The Guardians are a top 10 run-producing team at home. Jose Ramirez has the 3rd most RBI in the Bigs, 8th most home runs. And Steven Kwan has an on-base percentage of .364. And they're facing a Minnesota club who's playing just .500 baseball in their road trips. And out of their last 10 meetings with Cleveland, they've really struggled with Guardian pitching. The Twins were held to just 2.6 runs a game on average during that time frame. Now, weather-wise, 77 degrees and breezy at game time. Looks about. Wow, bro. 12-mile-an-hour wind gust towards center field in this one. That's what I'm, trying to say. Cleveland minus 105. That's the play. Next game, Nationals-Mets. NL East action, 7:10 p.m. East. The Mets are minus $1.80 in Flushing, Queens, total 7.5. Sean Manaea for New York, Jake Irvin for Washington. Now, Irvin's got a dozen losses on the year along with a losing record. Now, he's also got himself an ERA of 4.19. But even if he ends up having a, good showing here today, he is backed by a bottom 10 run scoring lineup. And they're going to square off against Sean Manaea, who's 11-5 with 171 strikeouts. Of course, at the plate, the Mets are a top 5 run-scoring team in the National League. Jose Iglesias has a batting average of .319. Brandon Nimmo leads the clubhouse in walks. When it comes to the injury list, Francisco Lindor is battling a back injury, kind of awkwardly nose-slid into second base the other day. It was a nose slide. He stood up, but contorted himself. And so he's battling back problems because of that. Jeff McNeil is still out. Meanwhile, for Washington, C.J. Abrams is questionable for them. 72 degrees with 8-mile-an-hour winds blowing into the third base dugout. Give me the Mets minus 1.5, under 7.5 in the tight window. Next game, Dodgers-Braves, 7:20 p.m. East. LA's minus $1.20, total 7.5. Yoshi Yamamoto for Los Angeles, Max Fried for Atlanta. And both starters with some real good stuff this year. Fried's got 144 strikeouts and an ERA in the 3s. Meanwhile, Los Angeles is Yamamoto. Only 2 losses on the year. 1.05 whip. Of course, at the plate, both rosters handful of guys that can pound the baseball. Weather-wise, 80 degrees and a slight breeze toward center field at first pitch. And if you want to see whether I'm making a play on the money line total or against the run line in this one, this game's being featured as my board member pick on my premium page. Next matchup, AL Central, Tigers, Royals, 7:40 p.m. East. KC's $1.45, totals 8.5. Seth Lugo for Kansas City, Reese Olson for Detroit. And both pitchers with some real good innings this year. The righty Olson's got an ERA in the threes along with a 1.18 whip. Meanwhile, Kansas City's Seth Lugo is 16-8 with 169 strikeouts. Now, total-wise, the Royals' last 5 straight at Kauffman Stadium fell under the total. They're also 8-2 to the under in their last 10 at any location. Hot and sunny at game time, 11-mile-an-hour wind blowing toward the left field foul pole. Give me the under, 8.5. Next game, A's Cubs, 7:40 p.m. East. Chicago's $1.90 in the friendly confines, total 7.5. Shota Imanaga for the Cubs, Joey Estes for Oakland. Now, Estes has an ERA of 4.36, does not have a winning record. And, of course, at the plate, the A's strike out a bunch, and they're in the bottom 5 in runs per game. And they have to face a 13-3 Shota Imanaga, who's got a 3.03 ERA along with a 1.02 whip. And out of these teams' last 10 head-to-head gatherings, the Cubs have really rocked these Oakland pitchers. They averaged over 10.3 hits a game during that time frame. Now, they're also 14-6 they're 14-6 straight up in their interleague home games. 79 degrees with a 7-mile-an-hour wind toward the third base bag. Give me the Cubs -1.5. Next game, Phillies Brewers, 7:40 p.m. East. Philly $1.20 on the road, total 8. Ranger Suarez for the Phils, Aaron Savali for Milwaukee. And Savali's 4-2 with the Brewers this year, ERA in the threes. Meanwhile, Ranger Suarez on the other side, 12-6 for the Phils with a 1.13 whip. Of course, at the plate, both pitchers getting ample run support from their starters in their most recent starts. And if you want to see a lean on both the side and the total on this one, you can check out my written quick pick recap right now on my premium page. It's available to Gold Club members exclusively. It gives you a lean on the side and the total on every single game on the slate here today. Next matchup, NL Central, Pirates, Cardinals, 7:45 East. Pittsburgh's $1.45, total 7. Paul Skeens for the Bucks, Andre Polani for St. Louis. Now, 4 out of Polani's last 5 starts did fall under the total. 8-4 to the under in his last dozen. And out of St. Louis's last 10 meetings with Pittsburgh, they averaged only 3.2 runs a game. Meanwhile, these Pirates hitters on the other side averaged just 6.9 hits per 9 in those, head-to-head gatherings themselves. So if you're into historical trends, you certainly want to think about that one there. Now, they're also 10-5 to the under in their last 15 Paul Skeens starts. And out of these teams' last 10 head-to-head gatherings, the under cashed in 70% of those ball games. So once again, if you're into historical trends, plenty of unders to go around. 84 degrees here today, slight breeze toward third base. Give me the under 7. Next matchup, NL West, Diamondbacks, Rockies, 8:40 p.m. East. Arizona's $1.75 on the road, totals 11. Merrill Kelly for Arizona. Antonio Senzatella making his season debut for the Rockies. Now, Senzi's season was cut short last year. He's actually had just one season in his career with an ERA in the threes, and that was that quirky 2020 COVID year. Unfortunately for Colorado, Senzi's been more of an innings eater than anything. He's got a career ERA of 4.87, a 1.44 whip. And that's really been the theme for Colorado this season. They're pitching. They allow more runs and hits per 9 than any other staff in baseball. And they're facing the highest run-producing team in the bigs. Ketel Marte has got the 9th highest OPS average in the big leagues, 85 total RBI. And speaking of runs batted in, well, Eugenio Suarez has more ribbies than any other member of the team, actually 95 total on the year. But even if the D-backs struggle in the box, righty Merrill Kelly, he's 4-0 with a 1.25 whip. Now, injury-wise, Randall Grichuk's questionable for Arizona. 78 degrees and windy in the Mile High City. It's actually 13-mile-an-hour wind gusts blowing to straight away center field here today. 5 out of Arizona's last 6 road games got over the total. They're also 70% to the over in their last 10 at any location. Give me the Diamondbacks -1.5 over 11. Next game, White Sox Angels 9:38 East. LA's $1.90, totals 8. Reed Detmers for the Angels, John Cannon for Chicago. And this is just way too big of a number, way too big of a price point for a team of the caliber of the Angels. Like, I get it. Chicago's an historically bad team in professional sports. But for the Angels to be laying 90 cents in any type of spot is really not a good value. And, you know, the White Sox, they are on a 2-game winning streak. Both victories coming against AL West opponents this weekend. And for some reason, the White Sox have hit LA pitching well recently. They've actually averaged 5.4 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with the Angels. And, you know, we could see more of the same here today with Reed Detmers on the hill. The Angel lefty's just 4-6 with an ERA of 5.64. And out of his last 10 starts, the Angels actually took the loss in all of those ball games except for 2. Now, Brandon Drury's questionable for Los Angeles. Brooks Baldwin out for Chicago. 70 degrees and 11-mile-an-hour winds toward the center field wall. 2 out of LA's last 3 at Angel Stadium stayed under the line. Chicago went 60% to the under in their last 10. So despite that windy wind going towards center field, we like the White Sox +1.5, under 8. Next and final game, interleague play, Astros Padres, 9:40 p.m. East. San Diego's $1.40 at Petco Park, totals 8 runs. Yu Darvish for San Diego, Spencer Arrighetti for Houston. And Arrighetti's 7-12 with an ERA close to 5. Having said that, though, this Astros lineup scored 33 total runs in Spencer's last 6 starts, so getting plenty of run support. And, you know, that's really not overly surprising that he is getting run support. The Astros average more hits a game than any other team in the American League. And oddly enough, on the other side, the Padres are averaging more hits a game than any other team in the National League. 6 out of their last 10 ball games also got over the total. Meanwhile, Houston went 60% to the over in their last 10. 12-mile-an-hour winds blowing towards center field in San Diego. Give me the over 8 runs. And with that, folks, we're going to dive into our quick pick recap. Cleveland -105. Mets -1.5. Under 7.5. No free pick. Dodgers Braves. Under 8.5. Tigers Royals. Cubs -1.5. No free pick. Phillies Brewers. Under 7. Bucks Cards. Arizona -1.5. Over 11. White Sox +1.5. Under 8. Give me the over 8 in the Astros-Padres game. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. But most importantly, folks, if you do, I got to thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, folks, happy Monday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium site. Patreon.com/BrockPage.